This is the second video of the series APA 7th edition for distance students at USC Aiken. This video we're going to talk about formatting an APA paper. My name is Professor Deborah Harmon. I'm an instruction reference librarian and the library liaison to nursing at USC Aiken. If you're looking for more fundamentals such as in-text citations and reference list citations, please check our other video on the channel that deals with those directly. This video is going to be dealing with paper format for APA, and what you'll notice about the APA manual is there are now two sample papers. There's a sample paper for professional papers and there's a sample paper for student papers. Most of the papers that you will be using in your program will follow the student paper sample on pages 61 through 67. Towards the end of this video, I will show you support resources for how to find the sample paper that they have made available online, as well as some of our other support resources. For the sample student paper, starting on page 61, you'll notice one of the major changes between the 6th edition and the 7th edition is for sample student papers, you no longer have the running head. At the very top of your paper, all you need to include is a page number in the upper right-hand corner of all of your pages. Now for the title page, we need to include a couple of elements, and the sample paper has some specifications for what's to be included. The first thing we're going to include is the name of our paper, and about 3 to 4 spaces down you'll include the name of your paper. Notice all the major words are capitalized and this is bolded. Then you'll have a space or so, you'll include your name, then you'll include your department, the name of the University of South Carolina Aiken, the name of the class, the name of your professor, and the date that you are submitting the assignment. So here's an example of what your paper might look like. The name of the paper, your name, School of Nursing, USC Aiken, the course number of title, the instructor name, and the date, with only the page number in the upper right-hand corner. For USC Aiken papers, a lot of times also your professor will encourage you, and it's generally good practice, to include the USC Aiken honor code. You can find this honor code on the USC Aiken webpage and then simply digitally sign it, or if you're handing it in person, you will physically sign the paper with your name and your date saying that this was your paper. On the second page of the paper, you will always include the full name of your paper again that you include on the first page. You never want to start your paper with the word introduction. You will notice again all the major words are capitalized and that this is bolded as well. One of the other major things to pay attention to in an APA paper is the heading level. Within APA papers, different headings articulate different sections within a paper, and APA has very specific formatting rules for helping guide those headings. So this, for example, is an example of a level 1 heading. It is centered and bolded. This is an example of a level 2 heading, and it is left aligned and bolded, and the text starts on the next line. Let's dig in a little bit more deeply. So heading levels allow us to communicate to our users the hierarchy of ideas within our paper. Most of our papers will have either level 1 or level 2 headings. We generally don't go to level 3 headings unless specified by your professor. But effectively, what you can do is tell your reader that you're talking about one item, and then simply by using a head level, you can communicate to your reader that you have a subtopic or even a subtopic of a subtopic. So for example, a level 1 heading, we start out talking about obesity, which is centered and bolded. That is an example of a level 1 heading. A level 2 heading is a subset of that first level, and we have it left aligned and all the major words are capitalized. It is also bold, it is to the left, and the text starts on the next line. Now if we have a level 3 heading, which would be a subcategory of level 2, it is also left aligned, all the major words are capitalized, but you will notice that it is bold and italicized. The text starts on the next line. If you have any questions about the heading levels in your paper, please be sure to contact your professor. They generally will have some guidance as to the level headings needed for your paper. Now, the final piece of the paper formatting for APA is the reference list. The reference list starts on a new page. The word references is centered and bold. It mimics a level 1 heading. And then on our reference list, we will list all of the works that we included in our paper. These will always have a corresponding in-text citation, so within the body of the paper there should be a one-to-one correspondence between things you mention inside the paper and at the reference list. What you will also notice is that all the works will be alphabetized, and in the reference list you will always have a hanging indent, so the first line is going to stick out a little bit longer than the second line. And you will also notice that everything is evenly spaced within the reference list. Sometimes we see extra spacing added between citations. Make sure that everything is evenly spaced and that you don't have extra padding between. The paper for APA 7th is significantly more simple than it was for APA 6th. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to make sure and reach out to us. I wanted to also show you some of the resources that can help support you as you go through and format your paper. If you go to the USCA Library's homepage, if you go to Research Guides, which is the third tab over, and select Nursing from the drop-down, this will take you to the portal for all things nursing. What you will notice on the portal is that there will be a Cite Your Sources tab for APA 7th. Please make sure you're using the APA 7th tab. Once you are there, there are a number of resources here that I've pulled together that will help you with in-text citations as well as paper format. For the paper format, if you click on this first link, that's going to take you to that example provided by APA. It is an exact copy of what is in your book, so if you don't happen to have your book with you, this is a great way to connect into that. I've also created a sample template paper for USCA students. This is a Word document and has the primary template elements that you will need to be successful for a paper. Again, in addition to our help, APA has a really great site. They have done a very good job at creating a useful site. Also, Excelsior College has an excellent APA help guide. Theirs is far superior to anything else I've seen online. I will put a note out there that the online writing lab by Purdue, which is a student favorite, does actually have a few errors in it. And as always, you can lean on our library resources for help. That concludes my video on paper formatting for APA papers. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.